I thank the Theosophical Society for this wonderful day. It's just very exciting to be here with you today. And as an indigenous person, as a Mescalero Apache medicine person, the first thing that we say in our language is a welcoming, because we all Toyoshpaye. It means extended family. And so we're going to learn a Apache word right away, and it is called dagote. Dagote means it's so good to see you. So dagote. Dagote. Thank you so much. Thank you. And we all are Toyoshpaye. We're all related. And today I'm gonna share some wonderful information about not only our ceremonies, but the visions, vision quest, and also how you can tap into your own visions. Why do we receive visions? Where do they come from? And what purpose do they serve in our journey, which we call life? And of course, I'm sure you know, there is a difference between having a piece of information given to you and a vision. It is a very powerful pack of information that the universe gives you, and it's a very efficient package that inspires you on a cellular level, and a mental level, emotional level, a spiritual level that is very important to the Native people. That's why we have our ceremonies, and the ceremony that I'm going to talk about today, and also how you can utilize some of those things for your daily purposes, is the vision quest, the vision, which is important. So as Mary said so wonderfully, my name is Billie Topa Tate. Topa Tate means four winds. My Apache name, my sacred Apache name is Wazayata. Wazayata means wind that sings. And that's just a way of saying that my purpose is to teach through speaking, through words. And in my book, I talk about that my grandfather taught us that words are energy carriers. They carry energy. They carry medicine. They carry good medicine. They carry not so good medicine. And it's a very important concept. It's a very important tool that our body, mind, and spirit, our nervous system, every aspect of who we are responds to the energy that we utilize in the vibration of our words, and also our thoughts, our emotions. These are the basic operating system of the energy field. And it's a very perfect tool. And if you use it really, really well, lots of wonderful things transpire. So before I start, I'm going to do what's called a sacred intention. And we do that in the morning, and we do that in the evening. And the reason why we do it is because we have this energy field, and we all have it. We have this sacred sanctuary. It's like a living library that you have in your energy field. And when you're allowing for your intention to be focused, the universe pays attention and gives you what you need. So our morning ceremony is about a sacred intention on how to map and utilize that energy through our energy field, through our expressed desires, and also to invoke what we call our energetic resources. So our energetic resources are our spirit helpers, our teachers in spirit, our virtuous ancestors. You all have them as well. And also our wisdom self, and which some people call the higher self. We call it the wisdom self. But all of our energetic resources are very important to us. We do not walk the world without them. And so we start in the morning with a sacred intention, and I highly recommend it, because what you're doing is you're building that wonderful energy for your beautiful life's journey every day. So with this particular lecture, we start with a sacred intention because when I first started my practice 29 years ago, I took 10% of the credit for what I did. I've been doing this for a long time, and now I say I take 2% of the credit for what I do, because I know it is not just me, it is the universe, it is the wonderful helpers that come and help us throughout the day, and it's just a very gratifying experience. So one of the things that they teach us when we're going through what's called our rites of passage when we're 11 years old, they teach us to go into the spirit world because we know that the spirit world is right next to us all the time. But when we go into the center of who we are, or when we're in a group together, the veil is lifted even more. So you know that we're together and the veil is lifted even more. So it's a wonderful way of sharing not just a piece of information, but energy that is what we call enlightened language. That's what our elders use when they talk to their teachers in spirit, and a little bit of that is going to be part of this lecture. So I'd like you to know that what we are trained to do in the beginning of our journey is to go into the spirit world. And it's a very easy thing to do. My grandfather said, if you want to go into the spirit world, close your eyes. So when you close your eyes, you're going into the spirit world. And when you're in that centered place, you can express a desire much more profoundly. So when I do this sacred intention, I would like you to express your sacred intention is to extract as much information from this lecture as possible. So I would like you to close your eyes. And I'd like you to just go into the center of who you are. And my grandfather Charlo said, you know, Billie, it's okay to smile. It doesn't cost anything. But the thing that it does do is it really helps your body, mind and spirit come in harmony. So I'd like you to just place a smile on your face, internal, external smile. And I'm going to do this short, wonderful, sacred intention. Wangan Tanga, Oshimala, Ochetalo, Chetalo. O wonderful Creator, thank you so very much for this beautiful day. Thank you for this sacred way of praying. Thank you for this wonderful journey we call life. We invoke for our higher self, our virtuous teachers in spirit, our holy medicine people, all the wonderful beings who assist us in good and loving ways. We thank you for your wonderful help, your mentorship, your guidance, your intervention, and also your wonderful wisdom. And we call forth your beautiful energies to manifest in this wonderful lecture, to provide your wonderful wisdom in a timely and wonderful way for all concerned. In full faith, with great love and respect, so be it now. Ahom Atakwiasan. So you can open your eyes. So I want to welcome you to this lecture, and I'm just going to move to the next slide. So I talked about visions, and we've all had them. A vision is an energy tool from the universe, from the Creator and from our guides, which consists of condensed qualities of energy that are delivered to our mind, our body, and our spirit. And visions are really important because they help us to move into those platforms of our life's purpose. And I'll give you an example. I had a student many years ago who said, I really want to be a medical doctor, but I'm not very good at math. And I don't think I'll ever be very good at math, but I really want to be a medical doctor. And I said, well, I would like you to take the time to go to a school, campus, go to the campus, and walk around and see how you feel. And she said, okay, I'll do that. And she said, well, I don't know if it's going to do anything. So she got out of her car, she took one step onto the grass of this university, and a beautiful voice, really very profound, said to her, you're going to be a medical doctor, a very good one. When you think about those times that are going to be difficult, think about what I just said. And then she saw her vision. Her vision was that she was helping people, and she was a medical doctor, and then that vision went away. And of course, she walked right to the office and signed up to become a medical doctor. And she said, the most difficult times I had, I would think about that voice and that vision, and it would help me, and it would inspire me, and it would give me courage and faith. And it really moved me through the most difficult times. And that's what visions do. Visions also have multiple levels of information at different times in your life. And they do open windows of opportunity for you. And to that I would say, have the courage to walk through those doors, whether you feel you have the knowledge to do it or not. Because my teacher also said, teach and you will be taught. And I remember my grandfather saying that to me when I was about 12 years old. And he said to me, he said, teach and you will be taught. And I said, I have nothing to teach, grandfather. I don't have anything, I don't know anything more than anybody else. And what I realized is that was not true, that I had things that I could share. And I remember the first time I stood in front of many, many people, and I loved to practice the art of invisibility at that time. And I stood there and I started to speak about the indigenous wellness, how we take care of ourselves. And I started talking about that. And then all of a sudden, all these wonderful words were coming out of my mouth. And I said, oh, that's brilliant. Who said that? I said that, And I said, oh my gosh, the universe does help you. And it's just a phenomenal thing. It's a beautiful experience. And when those things do happen, please write them down. As profound as they might be, they might slip away. And visions launch the energy of endurance, your future wisdom. You see, visions are ways of capturing packets of time of your future. And you don't know that until you step into those places. It's called auspicious mystical time. And so visions are really a beautiful experience that not only helps you in the moment, but also inspires you for future endeavors. And I really love the fact that, it gives you clarity, strength, and also additional information for your evolution and your journey. So I'm going to share with you just a little story about one of my teachers when we went to a vision quest. And I was a very, very young girl, and I come from the desert. I love 114-degree weather. To me, that's very special. It's like a sweat lodge. I love it. I know it doesn't, it isn't for everyone, but I really, really enjoy it. And so my teacher took me out to New Mexico. And he said, I'm going to put you up on the mountain for a couple of days. You can't take anything except for your coat. And you're going to go on your vision quest. And, it's like, it's cold up there. It's very, very cold. I don't know if you've ever been to New Mexico when it gets cold, but when you close the car door, it just swings right open because it's frozen. And so it's very, very cold there. So I said, okay, so I'm going to do this. So he said to me, I'm going to take you up to the mountain, and you stay there. I'm going to put some sacred sage, cedar, sweetgrass around you for protection. And then when I come back, I'm going to beep the horn, and you come down from the mountain. I said, okay, so how long am I going to be up there? And he says, I don't know. We'll see. So I thought, okay, this is going to take some time. So he put me up on the mountain, and I could see the snow. And I leaned up against a tree because I wanted to get nice and anchored. But when I leaned up against the tree, I could actually hear the tree cracking. That's how cold it was. So I closed my eyes and I went back home. And I said, I'm going to put my blanket on me and I'm going to stay nice and warm. And that lasted for about 10 minutes. And then when I opened my eyes, I saw a beautiful deer drinking from the water. There was a beautiful river in front of me. And looked at me like, what are you doing here? And I just smiled, and she went by, and a couple of hours later, beautiful wolf was standing there looking at me, and I knew I was protected, and I just sent him some beautiful energy, and he gave me the gift of life. I don't know if you've ever experienced looking in a deer or wolf's eyes, but they give you energy. They energize you, and I felt very energized. And all of a sudden, I heard all these people talking, and I was in the middle of nowhere. And I thought, where are all these people? They're talking. And I realized that the trees were talking about me. And I thought, that's incredible. They're talking about me. And then I had this experience. And the experience came over me like a cloud. And the experience was that I felt the essence of the Creator. It was profound. I fell to my knees and I started to cry. And I said, don't leave me, don't leave me. My family needs you, I need you, please don't ever leave us. And I was continuing to express myself in that way, and I was crying, and all of a sudden, I felt a hand on my shoulder, and as I turned, I saw this wonderful elder with beautiful braids, and he said to me, we would never leave you. Why would we leave you? We're going to help you. We're always going to help you. And I was still whimpering, and he said to me, do you remember that song you sang when you were down, with your teacher? You sang that song. I said, yes. And he said, sing that song for me. So I started singing the song. And when I started to sing the song, he started to dance in front of me. He was dancing this beautiful dance, and he started to share things with me, talk to me. As he was dancing, he would impose upon my mind a vision, a beautiful vision about things that were in the future. And then again, as he was turning and moving, he was dancing. And I said to myself, he's dancing to my song. And I felt so empowered by that. And all of a sudden, as he was dancing and moving around in a circle, he started to become smaller and smaller. And he turned to me and said, they're coming for you. And he disappeared. And all of a sudden I heard beep, beep, beep. And it was the truck with my teacher. So I grabbed my things and I ran down there because I did not want him to leave me. So I ran down there and I felt my eyelashes were frozen, my cheeks were red, and my hair was all frozen. And I got in the truck and I said, oh my God, I told him what happened. And he said, you had a vision. And I said, but grandfather, how can I have a vision? I was only up there for maybe half a day. And he looked at me and he said, you weren't up there for just a couple of hours. You were up there for 3 days. And I was shocked. And I thought, 3 days? It didn't seem like 3 days. It just didn't seem like 3 days. And I knew I was in that mystical time with this beautiful spirit that shared so much with me. And to this very day, when I want to ask a question, I can go back to that vision and I can ask him new questions, more questions, which you can do also. So we have something called a fire ceremony. So the fire ceremony is where we believe that the Creator uses circles, the medicine wheel, and also I'm sure if you want to sit and talk and share, you feel so much more comfortable in a circle. And so the circle is a very mystical representation of the Creator, no beginning, no end. And the fire in our tradition, in our training, is a energy portal that actually transforms all energy around it. And so we have this fire ceremony where we actually ask for wonderful spirit guides to hear our prayers. And we do a wonderful prayer that it's a song that allows us to, open up that wonderful channel of time and space. But we also have something called a sweat lodge, an inipi ceremony. And what we do is we take willow, we do what's called the sacred harvest. We ask the willow to be so kind as to provide its medicine, to provide the structure for the sweat lodge. And then we wrap the sweat lodge in cloth, but also we do prayer ties in the connections to build this beautiful inner universe, the womb of Mother Earth. And this particular place really is a very transforming place. When I take some of my students to the fire ceremony or the sweat lodge, the inipi ceremony, they're very surprised to see so many spirits. They've never seen those things. And the reason why they're so present is because the heart and soul of the people that are in the lodge are wanting very much to not only be heard, but to be answered, which they are. And we are taught that the breath is very sacred, and the lungs are the house of sacred breath. And when someone's born, we say happy birthday. To us, we say happy sacred breath day, the first time we come into the world to breathe the breath of life. So our sacred breath can carry us through visions, dreams, wishes, desires. And before you leave today, I would like very much for you to have a vision with me, your own vision. And I'm going to give you some special techniques that we are trained to do as Apache people in our ceremonies to be able to facilitate a connection with a very powerful part of who you are, and to ask for a vision about your life's journey. And that would be my expressed desire to do with you today. You may have the vision while you're here, or maybe when you're taking a shower tomorrow morning, it might come, depending upon what we call divine timing, and auspicious, and what we also call mystical time. So visions can be facilitated by an expressed desire. So because the universe wants all of us to really become enlightened. A lot of people think that, okay, I want to be happy, but happiness comes from evolving. That's the key element is evolution. And our guides, helpers, your angels, your ancestors cross the span of time and space for that purpose for you, is for your evolution, and that is very, very important. So what we do is we use something called sacred breath. So, and something that you want to take home with you today. Sacred breath is a very powerful and wonderful thing to do, and easy. And I was talking to someone today, because they said, well, you went up there and did the blessing and you didn't have a piece of paper, you just shared with people in the morning, you didn't have anything you had to look at. And I said, well, it's okay either way, to have a piece of paper in front of you or not. But when you speak from that centered place, it's inevitable you'll speak something wise. So, and that's good. So, but the sacred breath comes from that place also. So there are elements to sacred breath. So we are in nature because we know that nature is the doorway to the Creator. That's what we are told, and it's very true. A lot of people who are away from nature are out of balance from that. And it's important, that's why it's very important for all of us to not only be in nature, but also advocate for nature, because that's very, very good for us. And so, as a medicine woman, I was taught all about the plants. The plants are very, very good. They're very powerful, very knowledgeable. And my grandfather told me, plants give you medicine, they give you food, they even give you spiritual qualities like incense and smudging and essential oils. We cannot live without them. The interesting part is they can certainly live without us. They don't need us. And I often told my grandfather, I said, Grandfather, I don't understand. Here is this wonderful kingdom, the plant kingdom, constantly giving, constantly. They clean our air, they give us food, they give us everything. And we don't, acknowledge them. And he said, well, they keep doing that because they hope one day that people will realize they are Toyoshpaye, extended family. And we honor our families. We honor them. As a matter of fact, when you use even a plant in a capsule form, it still has spirit. So when you use the capsule of a vitamin, you can talk to the plant and say, hey, I got a headache, or hey, I got a tummy ache, or I need some more vitality, and I really greatly appreciate what you do. And you will get more medicine from that plant as a result of that. It's a very powerful tool. But sacred breath has components to it. So the one component is to connect with the trees, the water, the sky, the plants, the animals, and to see them in your mind, and then to send them a blessing. I honor the plants, I honor the water, so you do that, and what you do when you do that is you are establishing an energetic bond or connection with them. When you do that, you will notice that your breath will reset itself into an aspect of sacred breath. You can try it, and it works every single time. So the first component is to connect with them, think about them, bless them, and appreciate them. So if you, as a human being, interacting with another human being, and they were not grateful for their conversations with you, and they were frumpy-faced and doing all that, what happens? You would not want to connect with them. You would not want to. You would give them what they need, but you would give them much more than that. You wouldn't give them much, but you would give them what they need. And plants are very, very much like that. Trees are very much like that. And so when we connect with the trees and the water and the sky and the animals, and they understand what is called a universal language. The first universal language of the universe is energy. That is the first language. When you walk into a barn with horses, they don't care if you've got a little sign that says, I graduated from horse school, I paid $10,000, I went to school. They don't care about that. They will pick up on your energy, and they will let you ride them or not. And that is the language. And when you're interacting with people, what people you feel that bring out the best in you, and the ones that do not. And animals and plants are very much, they all understand that universal language. So that is the first language of the universe. The second language of the universe is symbols. We call it symbolese. And that is a very powerful thing. So when you go into your visions, like you're going to do today, you're going to experience a vision that is symbolic of you, your unique journey. And you are very, very important. And you have some important things to learn and also some important things to give. So you probably know some of those things already and some of them not. But a vision really is the universe's way of helping you if you want. So sacred breath has to do with connecting with nature and honoring it, respecting it, loving it, seeing it for what it truly is. So that's the first component. The second component is to understand that you are spirit, but you're walking the world in a physical form. So you have the earth element, you've got your physical body, you've got your spirit. And my father and my grandfather Charlotte would say, everything is about relationships. So true. The relationship you have with people, the relationship you have with money, the relationship you have with food, the relationship you have with animals, plants. That's all relationships, you know. But the one that's very, very important and is going to guide you in a good way is the relationship you have with yourself. That's part of your journey. So visions really help you to understand that component. And so the sacred breath that you need within this lecture is not only to connect with nature, but also to connect with your great purpose. Whether you know it or not, just honor that you do have one, because you do. So knowing that you have a great purpose opens the doors for the opportunities to know it. You've heard people say, oh, I do this and that's all I do and I can't do anything else. So they shut all those doors in their mind, body, and spirit to not know anything else. So when we say, I have a great purpose, I may not know it right now, and that's my grandfather talking, because, you know, I would call him up and I'd say, you know, grandfather, you know, I know this situation I'm sharing with you, and I shared an event. I said, I don't know what the wisdom is here. And he'd say, you know, granddaughter, I know there's a life lesson in there somewhere, but darn if I can see it right now. Call me back in 5 minutes. So, you know, and he would use humor like I was being too much here and not here, you know. And he'd teach me that way. So sacred breath is about knowing that you do have a great purpose. You may not know it right now, but you will. You probably know components of it, but wouldn't it be wonderful if you could give yourself an opportunity to know the other parts? And today you can. So you can create your own vision. However, it's a start point. Before we go on our vision quest, we might have an idea of who we are. But it's a little limited because we're not connecting with all the elders that are out there in our vision quest. So our visions might be a little limited, you know, about what we think we are. But that's okay, because it's the platform by which it gets transformed. So it's okay to create a vision, create a desire. But the universe and the Creator and our spirit guides create visions that are extremely developed and filled with lots of multi-levels of wisdom. So if you do have an expressed desire on what you would like to accomplish, whether it's a career or healing your physical body, or maybe even achieving a goal, like developing your psychic abilities, anything, it's okay to have that vision when you're going to receive a vision. Because what happens when you do that is the universe will say, well, that's good, but take a look at this. So it's a really wonderful way of fine-tuning in great wisdom what you already express a desire to have. So opening an opportunity for a vision. So symbology, as I said, is the universal language of the mystic, and how does the mystic use it? With visions, symbols are the first language, as I'd mentioned before, and symbols are within your vision, can be used to ask to meet your guides. Now, who would want to meet their guides today? Me. Yeah. So expressing that desire and using symbols. So here's what I mean. Well, I'll give you an example. When you're in your mind and you want to meet your guides, where would be a good place to meet? The symbol would be that you would be in a beautiful field, and you sit and you wait. And that is a symbol, right? That you've expressed a desire to meet your guides, and you are in the symbolic representation of a beautiful field, or by a mountain, or sitting on top of a mountain. Use a symbol. You know, when we are in our sweat lodge, we observe our guides, our helpers. We call them luminaries. We watch what they do. And we say, okay, so when they create something, they create it in a sphere of light. So when you take pictures and you see these beautiful spheres, they are what we call building elements. They contain energy. But also, when our guides talk to us, they vibrate at a very high rate. So sometimes you'll hear a ringing in your ear, right? And that's because they're trying to talk with us, but they're at that vibrational rate. We have to tell them, can you lower the vibration so I can hear you? Of course they can. So in the sweat lodge, what we do is we mimic those things so we can send a message to them, we want to talk to you. So during our sweat lodge and we're doing our songs, you will see that they will have a whistle. We're making that sound, and we're telling them, you know, when you make that high pitch in my ear and want to talk to me, we want to talk to you. And we're making the sound. So symbols are very important. So when we just have this short moment in time, I want you to go within yourself when I walk you through it, and I'm going to have you symbolically paint a picture of you sitting and waiting and enjoying being in a beautiful place, like an open field, an open range, mountains, and just sit and wait and express a desire. So, and I would like you to do that because symbols are within our visions, can be used to meet our guides, such as visualizing standing in a meadow or standing in a beautiful field of tall grass in the midst of mountains, and using the natural elements because they're very important. So we're going to do that together. And how do you utilize your visions? Asking questions. So while I'm talking right now, I want you to think about questions. Questions you might want to ask your spirit guides. You know, and they may answer you right away, and they may answer you tonight, they may answer you in your dream time, they may answer you in meditation, but they will answer you. So I'd like you to contemplate, you know, a question that you might want to ask. And it's important to do that. So have a moment while I'm talking to think about what it is, and no question is too small or too big. You know, I've asked many questions in ceremony, and it's just been very profound and very wonderful. you always, and people always ask me, well, how do I know if it's my spirit helpers that are talking, or it's just my insane personality, or something that is created by me, you know? You will always know when your spirit guides are talking to you, or the universe is talking to you, because every cell in your being lights up, because it's absolutely correct what they're saying. And you see it in every place that you can apply your knowledge about. So, are you ready? Okay, so let's turn off all your phones so it doesn't interrupt you. And I would like you to focus on just getting yourself nice and comfortable. So I'd like you to get comfortable in your chairs and go into the center of who you are. Close your eyes. Take full advantage of this time and space. And breathe in the breath of life, relatives. Breathe in. And take it all the way down to the lungs, and then exhale through your mouth. Again, breathing in through your nose, and exhale through your mouth. And 2 more times, breathing in, and exhale. 1 more time, breathing in, and exhale through your mouth. Just relaxing your breath. Relaxing your breath relaxes your mind. Relaxing your mind relaxes your breath. And I'd like you to just focus on the sound of your breath, not changing the breath, but focusing on the sound of your breath. And then in your beautiful mind, I'd like you to focus on a wonderful image, an image of someone who has helped you, who has held a beautiful space in your journey. And I'd like you to send that person, or it could be a tree, could be an animal, could be a person, just send that wonderful image a blessing. And then coming back to the sound of your breath, not changing the breath, but just focusing on the sound of your breath. Breathe in the breath of life, relatives. Breathe in. And I'd like you to take your beautiful mind on a journey through the skies, and just allow for the clouds to move through you and around you, refreshing your mind, balancing your body, and remembering that the clouds are part of who you are. And through this wonderful image, placing yourself in a beautiful field of grass, tall, beautiful grass. See the mountains, sky so blue. This is the place that you know. It's the place where you can see a beautiful vision of your life, your life's purpose, and an expressed desire to see one of your guides. As you sit and you relax and you connect with the air, with the trees, with the grass, the water, the animals. As they breathe, you breathe. You are breathing all together. You are family. And this is not the first time that you sit in this wonderful place, connecting with your wonderful guides and helpers, and being your true spirit. You are spirit. As you breathe, you are more and more happy, peaceful, and filled with gratitude. As you look with your vision, your beautiful inner sight at a distance, comes this wonderful vision, a vision of your wonderful helpers, your teachers, your guides. It could be one or many. As they approach and stand, they welcome your beautiful spirit. As you become one with the air, the trees, the water, the earth, you can sit and just be in that place. In this place, expressing gratitude for the blessings that are on their way to you now. This moment in time, ask for whatever it is you need. Ask for the wisdom that you need now. And take this time to speak. Speak with your heart and speak with your spirit. Extend that out as an expressed desire in your mind and your heart, and cover it with gratitude, endless gratitude that you are home. You are home. And in this moment, just allow for your breath to be one with all those things. And let the information, the wisdom, the guidance, just flow into your mind from your teachers, your guides, your helpers. Let it flow into your mind and keep expressing gratitude. And in this moment in time, express a desire to remember. Just ask for your mind, body, and spirit to remember. To remember when you need it. To remember when you would like more information. And to remember when you need support and guidance. Don't leave me. We will never leave you. We are here to help you. express a desire of gratitude that you can come back to this place anytime. And each time you do, there is so much more to share. Breathe in the breath of life, relatives. Breathe in as your mind takes you up to the clouds, and the clouds flow through you and around you, refreshing you. And as you exhale, you are very gently coming back into your body with every cell in your body filled with this memory, this vision. Place your hands on your heart and express gratitude for the blessings that are on their way to you now. Ahom Takwyasin. And breathe in through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Again, breathing in and exhale. And one more time, breathing in and exhale. And very gently opening your eyes. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.